Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Stacy Shillington. Welcome to my Facebook Live, and today I want to talk about makeup for acne. So I know personally, because I've been through this myself, but I know how emotionally and physically devastating acne can be. I remember when I had acne, I definitely did not want to leave my house without makeup. Like, that never happened. In fact, when it was really bad, I would get up early in the morning and put makeup on my face before my husband even saw me. And I know that sounds really extreme, but that's my truth. That's how painful acne was for me emotionally. So I realized that even though the goal is to heal acne from the inside out, and that is my mission, because that's really the only way that we can really get rid of acne, even though that's the goal, we still need something. You need something to cover up the acne while we're in the healing process, because nobody wants to go out with their face full of acne. I totally get that. So that is why a really good makeup is so important. You want a makeup that is not going to aggravate your skin, that's not going to cause more acne and make it worse, because that's totally not the point of anything that we're doing, for sure. We need to get rid of the acne. So I want to share what I use, what I've personally been using for 13 years, and what I recommend to all my patients. And my patients love this. So this is what we're going to talk about. So I want to tell you the story about how I found this makeup, and this is not a specific brand of makeup that I'm going to be promoting today. It's a type of makeup, which is mineral makeup, and I'm going to share my favorite brands with you near the end, so hang tight. But I want to tell you this story because it's kind of cool. So about 13 years ago, I got married, and leading up to my wedding, as I'm sure many of you can identify with, I was doing everything to make sure that my skin was going to be clear for the big day. I can't even tell you how much money I spent, because I didn't care. I really didn't. Money was no object at that point, just because I didn't care, not because I had a lot of it. But I did everything. I did blue light treatments, I did microdermabrasion, I did chemical peels, I did weekly facials, I was trying different diets. I was trying to desperately cover all my bases. And leading up to my wedding, my face was improving. It was looking okay. But then, of course, this was devastating. I woke up the morning of my wedding and I had a massive zit, right there. And it wasn't even like a zit that was just starting to come in. It was big and red and glaring, and I looked in the mirror and I really wanted to cry my eyes out, because this is it. This is my wedding day, and I did not want to have everybody looking here, as I was getting married. So I was a little panicky, didn't know what to do, very sad, and I was getting married. I got married at this little inn in Ontario. It's called Langdon Hall in Cambridge, which is gorgeous, and luckily they have a really awesome spa there. And I had booked in to get my makeup done at the spa for the wedding. So I went down to the spa and I was pretty much in tears. And the girl that was doing my makeup just basically went, "That's no problem, are you kidding?" And she whipped out this Jane Iredale pressed powder mineral foundation, and she started applying it to my face. And first she, took a sponge and just kind of started layering it on the problem areas, and of course any scarring or redness that was on my skin. Then with a brush she put it all over my face and then spritzed it with hydrosol, and my skin had never looked better. I couldn't believe it. I looked in the mirror and I was like, what? I couldn't see my zit. My face was completely glowing, and it was my wedding day. It was so lucky and happy, and the makeup changed my life, because I went home, I bought my own makeup, I started using it, and I stopped being so anxious about my skin because my acne was not so visible. So, I mean, in the meantime, I was still doing a lot of work to get rid of my acne, and yes, I eventually got rid of it all. But I continue to use this makeup to this very day because the finish is so beautiful and it's so healthy for my skin. I know that it's not clogging my pores. It's not exacerbating any acne that I may have. So talking about makeup in general, there's so many different ones out there, and I want to tell you a little bit about things you want to avoid in makeup. And pretty much when you walk into a drugstore, you pretty much don't want to buy anything in the drugstore at all. Really, I'm serious. I know it sounds really dramatic, but there are 6 ingredients that you do not want to have in your makeup if you have acne, or really if you just have skin. And I'm going to tell you the ingredients, what they are, and they're pretty much found in any mass-produced product. There's a few brands that do not contain these ingredients, and I'm going to share a few with you on this video, and then I'm going to write it down and post it on my blog tomorrow so you can refer to it in more detail. So these ingredients, they do 3 things to your skin. They dehydrate your skin, they increase your skin sensitivity, and they cause inflammation in your skin. And they primarily do this by disrupting the moisture barrier of your skin. That's what it's all about, preserving the integrity of the moisture barrier in your skin. And if something disrupts it, your skin's going to become sensitive, inflamed, and more prone to acne. And this is just the truth. Like, this is what happens. So you want to avoid silicones. Silicones, they are put into ingredients to make them feel silky as you put them on your skin. That's about it. But what they end up doing is they dehydrate the skin and they clog pores. So no silicones. And I mean, they can come, like when you're reading the ingredient list, I mean, the silicones, they have so many different names. I'm not going to list it off now because it's going to be completely boring, but I will put it on my blog tomorrow so you can read through that list. You also want to avoid, number 2, petrochemicals. So this is really anything that's derived from petroleum, and you don't want to put petroleum on your skin at all. Things like paraffin wax, mineral oil, propylene glycol, they simply clog the pores. So you don't want any of that. Fragrances are everywhere, and well, they're used to make things smell nice. And I mean, fragrances can be so enchanting, and they can really get us, and we'll use a product just because it smells good. And when you're looking at the ingredients list, it might say natural fragrance, but beware, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a natural fragrance, because there are no regulations as to which, products can, well, just how ingredients are listed on cosmetics. So very poor regulation there. So just get something without fragrance. Make sure there's no fragrances, even natural fragrances, in the product, because these irritate your skin and they increase your skin sensitivity. Parabens and phthalates. Both of these are endocrine disruptors. And this is so important if you have acne, because often acne is due to a disruption, an imbalance in the hormones. So by using these 2 ingredients, phthalates and parabens, you're exacerbating that hormonal dysregulation. So say no. Alcohols. Alcohols are used in products to help penetration of the product, but what they do is they dehydrate and irritate your skin. They dry it out. So say no to alcohols. And the last thing is acrylics. Acrylics are used to bind ingredients in a product. And, again, acrylics are listed on ingredient lists by names that wouldn't necessarily lead you to believe they're acrylics/plastics, but that's what it is. And of course, if you're putting plastic on your skin, it's going to clog your pores. So those are the ingredients you want to avoid in makeup. And these ingredients are ubiquitous. They're used in most mass marketed products. So please read the list, the ingredient list of your products to be sure that what you're putting on your skin is not making your acne worse. Sorry, I'm sitting on my knees here and they're falling asleep, so I'm uncomfortable. All right, so mineral makeup is what I use, is what I get my patients to use, and it's amazing. I'm gonna sit up on the couch because it's more comfortable. Oh my God, my feet are falling asleep. I don't know why. Maybe I'll put this back a little. Okay, so I really love mineral makeup for oily skin. And a lot of my patients have very oily skin. And if you have very dry skin and acne, you can try mineral makeup. It may not be for you. You may need something a little more liquidy, and I can give you some recommendations for that too. Mineral makeup, there's 3 basic ingredients that are used to create mineral makeup. It's zinc oxide, titanium oxide, and iron oxides. And these are different pigments that are combined to give, you know, the different shades of the mineral makeup. I like using the pressed powder because it's a powder. There's fewer ingredients in it, so there's less chance of getting a reaction. There's less chance of disrupting the skin at all. The wonderful thing about the ingredients in mineral makeup is that they are the zinc and the titanium act as natural sunscreens. So if you're putting on this pressed powder every day, you don't need to take that extra step of putting on a facial sunscreen, which is so brilliant because it's impossible pretty much to find, you know, totally natural, amazing sunscreens. I mean, if you're going to go to the beach for the day, obviously the pressed powder is not going to suffice as a sunscreen. But for your day-to-day, you know, walking from this building to that building, you know, the mineral sunscreen is more than adequate. And zinc oxide, which is one of the main ingredients, is also anti-inflammatory. So when you put it on your face, it reduces inflammation and redness naturally. So those are some amazing reasons to use a mineral pressed powder foundation if you have acne. You're also able to layer the coverage. So the coverage can be very sheer. You just take your brush and put it on and you're good to go. Or if you actually have blemishes that you need to cover up, you can actually take a sponge and put it on, and I'll show you this in a minute. Okay, no, I also wanted to say, but it could be irritating to your skin if you have dry skin and if you have very, very sensitive skin, because it is drying. So if you have really oily skin, what the mineral makeup is going to do is going to absorb the oils naturally, so it's going to make your skin look less oily. If you have dry skin, it could absorb too much from your skin, leaving it dehydrated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is my mineral makeup that I use. It is by Jane Iredale, and I love this. I've been using this for 13 years. My shade is Radiant. They have many shades, so you're able to get the perfect shade for you. There are some really great new mineral pressed powders out there. Ones that are probably even better and cleaner than Jane Iredale. 100% Pure is one brand that I'm in love with and I can't wait to try. But what I do is when I really love something, I buy it in bulk. So I have like 6 refills of this to use. So maybe next year sometime I'll like try the 100% Pure one. But the Jane Iredale one is great. So what I do is you take the sponge, and this is the sponge that has come with this, but you can also buy the little disposable sponges at Shoppers Drug Mart. And if you have an active blemish, you take the sponge, rub it in the powder, and you can put it on the blemish. And you can put more and more, like to really cover it. You get really fantastic coverage with this. So you just go over your face, and any of the red areas, the inflamed areas, you just cover it up with the sponge. You can even use it under your eyes a little bit if you have dark circles. And I want to say something else, like I'm like a super minimalist, and I am not a makeup artist. I really have to make that disclaimer right now, because I've been wearing my makeup pretty much the same since I was about 16, and I'm now 43. So clearly I'm not obsessed with makeup. I like to do the simplest thing possible, and I know a lot of people right now have like the most amazing makeup ever. Like, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. I see some of the women on the street and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. But I like don't look at to me for really fancy makeup tips. I just like do the basics and walk out the door. So yeah, I like to use as few products as possible. So I use this powder just to cover up my spots with the sponge, and then I take the big brush, you know, move it around in there a bit, and then just dust it all over my face. It really takes away a lot of the shine. And so this is good right here, but you know, many people say, oh, but you know, you get kind of like a chalky, you know, kind of finish with a pressed powder. But there's one other step that you can take. And this is using, if you watched my previous Facebook Live, you know how to make a green tea toner, which is right here. This is basically really strong green tea. So in 1 cup of boiling water, I put 4 organic green tea bags, and then I put a few drops of tea tree oil in it, and it lasts for about a week. It's so amazing. You take your green tea toner, spray it on your face. I don't know why my spray's not working, but usually you spray it on your face and it just leaves the nicest finish. It's that simple. So your skin looks flawless, you're protected from the sun, and you have something on your skin that's helping your acne heal versus, you know, making it worse and making your skin irritated. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. And so I'm going to be posting my blog tomorrow, and I will write all of this down so you can learn more about the ingredients, because they're really hard to remember, all those really long names. And also I will put down a few foundations that you can use if you have really dry skin, because the mineral may irritate it again. So that's it for today. I do want to say that this is such a great thing to do for yourself if you have acne right now, because you want to feel good about yourself going out into the world while you are working to clear your acne from the inside out, because clearing your acne from the inside out is really the only way to get rid of it forever. This is just a band-aid solution. So I'm excited because I'm launching my 7-week Clear Skin program on Tuesday. Finally, after 15 years. This is 15 years of personal research, like a medical degree, and 10 years of working with patients. I am sharing my program with you to get clear skin. And it works. And it's going to take you 7 weeks, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So go to my website at naturopathicbeauty.com. Also follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and that's it for today. So have a fabulous long weekend, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.